Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Ostara Games video. So if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I love trading card games. I love games in general, and I was overjoyed when I found this. This is the Gamecrafter. And no, this is also not a sponsored video. I just want to show all of you how this works because I had such a good time using this site in order to create my game, and I have a feeling that for the people out there who have a hobby of just making their own games, this is something you're definitely going to want to know about. So anyways, you might be wondering, okay, well, what is the Gamecrafter? Simply put, it allows you to go and create your own tabletop games, whether it's something like a card game or a large-scale tabletop or an RPG. This will give you the tools that you need in order to go and make your own professional-looking game from scratch. So now the first step to using Gamecrafter is you want to go and make yourself an account. I have already done this. It's pretty standard. I trust that the people who are watching this video have already made accounts for things in the past, and I really don't want to bore you with going through that process. The second thing you'll want to do after that is you want to go and find the types of components that you will be putting into your game. For many people who've been working on games for a while, they already have a general feel for what types of things they would expect to find in their game. So what you want to do is you want to go over to Make Games. Click on it and then click on Products, and it takes you to this page here. You'll notice that there is a lot of different things that you can choose from. Just scrolling down, you have a lot of different options. You have boxes, you have cardstock, you have game pieces, you have boards, you got mats, you got weird looking Grim Monopoly money. This is also not weird. I just wanted to say that it's Monopoly money, basically. It's play money. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that you have a lot of options that you can work with, and I'm just scrolling down to just give you a general feel, because you have a lot. So you might be asking yourself, okay, well, where do I even start? Well, since this is a trading card channel, I talk about my own trading card game, Sorum, fairly frequently on this platform. I'm going to go and I'm going to be teaching everyone today how to go and create their own trading card game. So the first thing you want to do is you want to scroll over to decks. You have a lot of different decks to choose from, which is to be expected. So these all come in different sizes, different shapes. Even you've got things like square decks, you have things like hexagonal decks, you have things like very large decks, very small decks. But the deck that we're going to be looking for today is the poker deck. For a lot of people out there who enjoy things like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, these are the decks that are around the same size as the standard trading card games, and these are particularly what I use. So now, when you're looking at this, there are two things you want to note: the templates and then the image size. So when you're uploading something to Gamecrafter, you have to be very, very specific about the pixel size of an image that you're using. But so what you do is you click on one of these, either Illustrator or PNG, whatever specifically works for your computer. If I remember correctly, I use Illustrator. But anyways, then you take this file and you put it into something like an Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, or you use Clip Studio. I have Clip Studio, and I've been using that for a while, so I'm going to show it on that. So when you're in this section here, you click New, and then this is where you can go and actually adjust the height and width requirements. So if you look here, it's 825 and 1125. And that matches the exact same dimensions for our card. So I'm going to click OK and then get this started. Now you have the blank and lovely empty canvas. So just to get started, what you want to do is you want to go to Import, Image, and scroll all the way down. Or in my case, I want to scroll all the way down because I have a lot of stuff in here. I've been working on this game for a while. You want to find the poker card. Then once you find that, you'll notice that it's all nice and fits perfectly along these edges. It's very snug. You don't have to move it, adjust it around, or anything like that. You don't have to do any of that to get it going. It fits perfectly. And then from here you can go and you can begin working on your card. So you might be wondering, okay, well, what exactly is the point of this? I'm going to go and illustrate that point with some help from my good friend Grimson. So for all of you who already know, I'm working on the second set of Swarm. The first set was released in September. I'm working on the second set currently. So the reason you put in the templates is to show this. So when you go and you're making your card, the poker card template allows you to go and see the dimensions of your card. If you look closely, you'll notice that there are these lines, and this would be the corner. Then there are these different edges which show if your card is maybe too far to one side. You'll notice that there's a safe zone, which is saying do not place any important textured images beyond this dotted line. It's very faint, but I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. This red line is the line where the card itself is actually trimmed. Bleed zone, of course. So every now and again there will be a little bit of what we like to refer to as drift. And this is shown with the bleed zone, so every now and again something will either come off or drift a little bit more to the left or the right, regardless. But so when you finish this card design, it looks a little bit something like this. So I'm just going to exit out of all this so I can show all of you how you do that. So I'm going to go to my account. I'm going to go to my games. So now we're going to go to Uncharted Worlds. So now we're going to scroll down to decks. And actually, by the way, this is the big layout. It is very intimidating at first. But you have all the components for your game. You can click on them, you can select them and deselect them. Typically the ones you include in your games look a little more highlighted, so to speak. And then they show you how many actual components you have, like for example decks, quantity of 1. Dice pawns and other printed figures, 21, downloadable files 2. And it goes all the way down here to stickers. And so we're going to be working on decks, as I mentioned earlier. You click on this, and then you scroll down to the different deck that you're using. Once again, we find the poker deck, and it has the lovely pixel amount that we mentioned previously. Click on edit there. So when you get started, you want to go and find a card that is going to represent the back of your cards. So in this case, I have the Swarm card back. It looks a little something like this. And when you upload it, you have the ability to either approve or deny your proof. So in this case, I love the way it looks. I'm going to click approve, and then it says that it's saved. Now we're going to go into the game itself. Loading. So now when you upload all of the different cards into your game, they come into this significant setup. So you'll notice slowly as I scroll through that each one of these cards is placed in alphabetical order. So this might be something that's useful to you in your game, like sorting it alphabetically. You might want them sorted in a different way. I'm just saying that this is typically how they sort the game itself. But anyways, when you're at this point, you want to go and take a card. So all my cards have actually been uploaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these cards and actually just put it out. I'm just gonna delete it. It does not delete the card itself from my computer. If it did, that would be really bad, and I would get kind of sad because I worked very hard on these. So then you scroll down to the bottom, and then you go and you find the cards that you're looking for and then upload them. So go into all, Uncharted Worlds, Fighters, Luia, and then just like that, my card gets uploaded. You can see his name, he's got his elements as well, you've got his background, his abilities, his stats, of course, and everything else. And then once I like how it looks, I click approve, and then just like that, my card has been uploaded. Now, of course, there are other things you can do with this as well. One of the other big things you want to be doing is you're thinking to yourself, well, this is all nice, but I kind of want to make something like a box to put all of my games in. And that's a totally fair point. So anyways, we have the box for all of this stuff. So now what we want to do is scroll down to I use the small pro box. And once again, these are the same, these are different measurements of the different products that they offer, but when you go and you upload something, you want to make sure it is that correct size. So I had already done something for Uncharted Worlds, so I'm going to get that out, and I'm going to upload it. So then we can click on the bottom as well, and we can change it, if I can find it. Anyways, my briefly scattered files section aside, what you want to do is it scrolls over to something like this. It goes and gives you the outlook of what it looks like, and when you like how it looks, you can click approve. I don't know why it just... yes, and then this is the second one, so I have to go and fix that. So I'm going to go and I'm really going to try to find this now. Give me 1 second. Here it is, wow, right there the whole time. So now if we look at it, it has the same sort of layout. It shows you where it's going to eventually cut, and then when you're done with all of that, you can click approve. So anyways, those are the two things that I specifically wanted to show you in this video. If we go back, of course, the big feature is when you actually get your game perfect, then you go and you publish it to the shop. And then from there, it's available to the world. Everyone can see it, they can play it, you can share it with family, friends, they can check it out. But anyways though, that is all the time that I have for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It was a kind of unique format to work with in this one. I've never actually done a video before where I'm recording myself on a site and doing a bit of a tutorial in this way. But anyways, I hope it was easy enough to follow. I hope that you enjoyed it. And more importantly, I hope that you have a great time using the Gamecrafter. But anyways though, that is all the time that I have for this video, and I hope to see you all again next time. Goodbye everyone.